I've had my Nintendo Switch for a year and a half now, and throughout that time, both of my Joy-Cons have grown susceptible to stick drift, a design flaw in the controller's analog stick, causing them to continue to register movement after your thumb has left the controls. Needless to say, this will cause you to lose a few lives unexpectedly when your character continues to move closer to the edge of that platform well after you stop moving the stick. Ouch. What should you do when your Joy-Cons start to drift? Well, there are a few ways you could hypothetically fix it yourself, but in doing so you risk damaging your Joy-Con even further, and the second you unscrew your controller, you lose your warranty. Instead, I would recommend having Nintendo do it for you, as they are now required by law to do so for free, if you live in North America. Now, as someone who's already had one of their Joy-Cons repaired by Nintendo, there are more things about this process that I think you should know about, including the pros and cons of going through this process, my personal experience of going through this process, and why Nintendo is required to do all this in the first place. But because this issue is serious and can be frustrating to take care of, I want to be respectful of your time. So if you're only interested in the steps you need to take to get Nintendo to fix your problematic Joy-Con, I have put up a link to set up a Joy-Con repair ticket on Nintendo's official website in the description, so feel free to check it out at any time. Now, if you have been experiencing Joy-Con drift, don't blame yourself. It's not actually your fault, it's Nintendo's. The Nintendo Switch's analog sticks are designed differently than they are on Nintendo's previous home consoles, likely because they need to be compact to take on the go, unlike the Switch's predecessors. This new design has a flaw where dirt and dust can get wedged underneath some plastic in the stick, causing the sensor in the stick to behave unexpectedly, causing what we call stick drift. This sort of thing happens over time, and there's nothing you can really do about it. For this reason, even if you aren't currently experiencing stick drift, there is a high probability that you eventually will. One law firm noticed this flaw in Nintendo's hardware and filed a lawsuit against Nintendo of America in the summer of 2019, which is why they are now required to fix this issue in your Joy-Cons for free. However, because this was an American law firm, Nintendo was originally only required to fix faulty Joy-Cons from North American customers, and that's all they were originally doing. By this point, I've heard they've branched out to other countries outside of North America, but their support is still far from worldwide, so if you don't live in North America like I do, make sure to find out if Nintendo will fix your faulty Joy-Con in your country, and get the details on where they want you to ship your Joy-Con. Now, obviously, this hardware flaw has already cost Nintendo quite a bit in the US, so it is understandable that they want to shy away from losing any more money by repairing Joy-Con drift worldwide, but that still doesn't make it any less embarrassing on their part. As far as my personal experience with this issue, I received my Nintendo Switch for Christmas 2018, and by October 2019, it became obvious my left Joy-Con included with the system was drifting upward. So a few months later, I waited it out a little bit to see if it would clear up, and after it was clear that this problem wouldn't just go away on its own, I sent my left Joy-Con in to Nintendo of America for repair. 3 weeks later, I got it back, and as expected, it worked just fine. In fact, I honestly couldn't even tell if Nintendo just sent me a brand new one. I did notice right away, however, that they had replaced the thumbstick with a brand new one, so that's nice to see. Just a few weeks ago, however, I noticed my other Joy-Con had inevitably inherited stick drift as well. But this time I thought it would be helpful to others to document its journey in the repair process. So let's just real quick walk through the steps Nintendo wants you to take to send your faulty Joy-Con into their Seattle headquarters. And this time I'm going to closely examine what they sent back to see if it's brand new. Although I'm not getting my hopes up. Then your Joy-Con's off to Seattle. Alright, well, today is August 6th, 2020, and it would appear they finally sent it back. Alright, so we're going to take a look here. Let me just see. Oh, we got a... So it says here, it should say here exactly what they did. Let's see, service performed replacement, accessory/game. Wait a minute, so does that mean that this is a brand new Joy-Con? I mean, I think it might be. There's like a serial number on the back and everything. Well, only one way to find out. I know I checked my Joy-Con and I felt like which buttons were loose and everything. So if those buttons are now tight, that would mean that this is a brand new Joy-Con. So there's only one way to find out if this is new or not. Let's open it up. So for starters, they did package it in wrap here. I don't know if that means it's brand new or what, but this, if you look, it is the same packaging, I believe. Hold on a second. So I actually kept the packaging in my for my original Joy-Cons on my Nintendo Switch, and this is what it looks like. And this is what they sent me back. So if you compare them side to side, they look almost identical. So I'm wondering, is this actually brand new? I mean, it looks really shiny. Let's take a closer look. Alright, so let's feel the stick here. So as you can see, it's like squeaky clean right there, but I'd kind of expect it to be since that's where they're focusing. But yeah, a lot of dust gets in here, and that's really what causes the drift, but it's clean. As you can see, like, literally no fingerprints whatsoever. This feels very, very smooth in my hands. It definitely looks brand new. Like, the color is very, very pure. And the Joy-Con rail looks very pure also. Like, there's no fingerprints on it whatsoever. Either they cleaned it up really good, which I can't imagine would be the case. I think this is brand new, honestly. And I think my last one is brand new, too, when they sent it to me. Alright, just as a comparison, here's my other Joy-Con that I had repaired 6 months ago. So look at, even since then, some dirt or whatever has gotten accumulated right there. And look at the, it's just not there in this one. Everything just feels a lot cleaner. There's not too much difference here because this one's still newish. If this one was actually brand new and they sent me the other one. This one, it couldn't be more obvious to me now that this is brand new, and that is amazing. Alright, so I've got one last theory I'd like to confirm, and if I'm right, this Joy-Con is absolutely brand new. So, if I'm right, once I slide this into my Switch, usually it was like super loose, and it would just kind of go in there, and it might click a little bit, but not a lot. But if this is brand new, I should be able to slide it in there slowly, and then as soon as I get it all the way in, there'll be a nice, big, metallic, healthy click. So, ready? Oh, hear that? It sounds very healthy right now. And it's paired. That's a nice big click. Let me try that one more time. That sounds very fresh. My Joy-Cons have not sounded like this since they were brand new. So this has to be brand new, and that's amazing. That's very loud. I think this is brand new. We just got a brand new Joy-Con! Let's go! So as far as Nintendo's initiative to repair drifting Joy-Con, I ended up being pleasantly surprised, and I believe it's definitely a step in the right direction for the company. Although, I still can't see myself buying any more Joy-Cons until Nintendo fixes this problem for good. So think about it this way. Nintendo already redesigned the Switch to have a better battery life. So now all that's left for them to do is to redesign the Joy-Cons so that they no longer drift. So as someone who's just been through this repair process, I can't recommend it enough. So please, if you have a genuine problem with your Joy-Cons and the stick drift, and you can live a month and a half without them, just do it. Just send them in. You won't regret it. Don't just try and fix them yourself. You might walk away with more problems than you started with, and don't just buy new ones, because as we just saw, chances are Nintendo will actually do it for you. As for my general experience with Nintendo's repair services, well, they're mixed. Their repair standards are incredibly high. I know I bought a Nintendo refurbished new 3DS XL a year ago, and if you gave it to me and you told me it was brand new, honestly, I would have believed you. And I've never had a problem with that 3DS since. However, I also bought a Pokeball Plus brand new from Target on Black Friday for $20, and by May its gyroscope started going haywire, making using it in the Pokemon Let's Go games it was designed for impossible. It just wouldn't stop pulling up these shake-to-open menus despite the fact that I'm not even touching it. So I called Nintendo and they told me their limited warranty only covered the first 3 months. So what could have been a free repair would now cost me $40. Twice as much as I had originally paid for it, and only $10 less than its original retail price. So really, I think the warranty for Nintendo's accessories should be more than 3 months. Because evidently with the problem of Joy-Con drift, some hardware issues take more than 90 days to show. And you just can't go charging premium prices for products that are covered by 3 months of warranty and break after 5. So, as most of you know, or can guess, I love Nintendo. I love their timeless IPs, and I love their inspiring philosophies on what a video game is. But that doesn't mean that they don't make mistakes, nor that I can't or shouldn't call them out on it when they do. Today, Nintendo has impressed me. Let us hope I can say the same about tomorrow. Thank you for watching.